Hello, beautiful beings. It is wonderful to be seen by your light. Today, we are talking about letting go of control, really allowing and trusting and surrendering in the universe in different situations or in different relationships or different moments in our lives. Perhaps we feel like we have this tendency to try and control everything that is going on, or we just want to hold on to control out of fear of losing something or just not knowing something. So it really is like a security blanket that we are going to be putting away for now by letting go of control and whatever it is that you feel you are just holding and grasping onto during this time in your life. So before we begin this transmission, just take a nice deep breath with me and sigh it out. Just do that a couple more times. Blow it out once more. It is a beautiful way to really just get us out of our head and quit trying to hold on to things that are happening within the mind. So breath work is what I'm going to say first and foremost is going to be very, very helpful. That could just mean taking those deep breaths, allowing yourself to like blow it out and intend to release things as you breathe, intend to breathe in love. And it's a great way and coping mechanism for a lot of moments of anxiety or overthinking, or even just stress in our lives, to be able to take that moment to breathe consciously and maybe even counting while you're breathing. So breathing in for 4 counts, out for 4 counts, or however many counts you want to do. But that is a beautiful way to kind of like switch the mind and change the attention there so that we can really regulate our energy and allow certain things to actually be released out of our field. So, and that just all comes back to energy. We all have this energetic bubble around us, this aura, whatever you want to call it, but our energy really extends past our skin, past our actual physical being. It is something that we cannot see, or most of us cannot see, is this energy that is around us, and it does intersect other people's energy, certain objects' energies, just energies of different rooms and situations, and certain things will come in and out, and you may be leaking energy, you may be pulling energy, you may be just feeling like this energy is suffocating you in a way which really puts you in a state of not having the motivation for things, puts you in a state of fear, which is where this need for control really does come from. And when it's like that, it's time to breathe so that we can create more space and allow more space for this energy to really just move around the body so that it isn't just holding on in one certain place in the body, because it can manifest as different ailments in the body, and it can just be kind of stored within the tissues in the body. So it's important to breathe, to let that stuff go, to do your self-care practices, to regulate and manage your energy, because your energy really does determine how you're feeling emotionally, how you're feeling spiritually, how you are moving through life and speaking and reacting to other people. It has a big, massive effect. So if we're not taking that time every single day to really just allow ourselves to maybe cleanse, to like take a bath, take a nice shower, to intend to release things, to breathe, to meditate, to exercise, whatever it is that you like to do for yourself, for your physical, your emotional, your mental, and your spiritual body, that is going to really aid your energetic body so that you can move through life and go into situations and conversations feeling more centered and aligned, and allowing yourself to feel stronger with this stronger, really open aura or energetic field. So you will feel that difference. You can move through things a lot stronger. Even when those down moments come to you, you can actually take those moments, see them for what they are, and allow yourself to not only in the awareness, but to actually just accept what is happening with you right then and there, to accept it without judging it, without resisting the help that you may be needing to give yourself. So it's all about taking a step back and seeing things for what they are, even in the moments where you feel like down, or it's just, you thought you were going to have a good day after doing your self-care practice and then it's like tumbles down the road. You will be better prepared for that because you did your self-care practices, or just because you took care of yourself and gave yourself that love first before going out into the world and going on with your day. So it is a powerful thing to empower you to pick yourself up easier and faster every single time that it happens. It's a beautiful thing that all of us humans really do need. So taking that time to really groom your energy and be with it, notice what is going on, what doesn't feel right, speak with that, allow it to be released, notice it. Whatever is going on within you that doesn't feel in alignment or doesn't feel right really just needs to be seen. It does not need to be ignored. All right, so those are the moments where we can learn to expand. We can learn a little bit more about ourselves and what is going on within the world when we see these parts of ourselves. Everything that happens in our lives, like, it may trigger us, it may activate certain parts of our soul, it may just tear us down so that we can build ourselves back up. So all of these interactions and things and situations, experiences going on is there to help us to really grow. And it's up to us to take initiative, to take that as an opportunity, to take that trigger, that emotion, whatever that situation and experience that we had, maybe it arises again. We can use that as an opportunity to grow, to move forward in life, to allow ourselves to release things that we've been holding on to for all of our life, or even just lifetimes. These are beautiful, beautiful times right now. They're potent energies that are around us. So really utilizing this time for ourselves to take care of ourselves in all aspects is going to be very beneficial to really strengthen you so that you are ready to move through this new world in a whole new way that feels more empowered and more confident, so that you're not worrying about all this kind of stuff. You can actually take yourself and walk through life without needing to control or grasp onto things in hopes that everything's going to work out the way that you think it's going to be. And that's not always the case. It's not always the case that we can conjure up dreams and future plans and timelines in our head and it just perfectly kind of go out that way. The universe and God works in mysterious ways, you guys. This energy that is around us always works mysteriously. We don't always know what is going on. There are certain things that are meant to be in our life. We have soulmate situations, soulmate people, really soulmate experiences and moments for us. So a lot of this, you can just think of them as like contracts. Like, this was meant to happen to lead us to this one place. And it's important to remember, letting go of control requires you to believe and trust in something other than yourself. So you may trust yourself to know that, okay, yeah, I know this is what I want to happen. This is how I want it to go. This is the way that is going to allow me to feel better within myself, knowing that I have control of this, when in reality, then that might not be the case. The case might be that there is something much grander at work here. So this situation or whatever is going on in your life that you feel like you're really grasping onto really needs the space to blossom. It needs the space to really show you how you can feel when you let go of that control. So letting go of control does require trust. It requires trust in something other than yourself. It requires you to trust the way that things are going to unfold. It means that you may have to walk into the unknown. You don't know how others are going to react. You don't know how things are going to play out. And this is just a chance for you to just like to take that breath and say, okay, like, whatever is meant to be is meant to be. And that is a whole perception and thought in itself, and just belief in itself, to believe that what is going on around us or in within us is meant to be. That everything is really solely in divine alignment. We are always on the right path. There are just moments that take us in different routes to our final destination. So we are always pointing true north. We just have different ways to get there. All right. And sometimes to get to that true north, to feel like we're really going to this place, this final destination that we desire, this feeling that we really want to have, to release, it really requires us to say, okay, like, I trust how things are going to go. I'm just going to see what happens, kind of go with the flow, and hope that everything is happening for the best. And the one thing that is going to really, really help you with this belief is knowing that you can only control what you can control. So focus on what you can control instead of focusing on what you want to control. See situations, experiences, how other people experience things or take things or perceive things is not your job. It is not your place to control that. We cannot tell other people what to do, how to feel, or really paint this picture for others. And even just for ourselves, yes, we can paint that picture, but without feeling it within ourselves, it doesn't become real for us in the moment. So overall, what I'm trying to say is that you can only really control your reactions and how you move through life. And there's no way to really control anyone else. We can say so many things, like me just talking right now, there might be just a couple things that you really pick up on and resonate with, or maybe even nothing at all. And maybe all of it is just like hitting to your soul. And it really depends on where you're at, where you are at in your path in your life. So when we are moving through this life, we may be trying to help others and tell them like, oh, this is what helped me. I know that like this person needs to hear this. Like I can read them like a book, or just like you want to help people and you want to be there for people and you want to tell people things that you believe will help them, but it is up to them to receive it. And that goes the same with you. It is up to you to receive what is around you. And if you're constantly trying to control one situation, how are you being open to all the other opportunities and things going on in your life that may lead you to another path, that may lead you to a place where you can trust something other than yourself, that may really open you up to releasing this control, this fear, this doubt of the future, of this timeline, of whatever is going on in this situation, of this certain person, this worry, this burden. Because that is true. It is true, and it can happen for you. You can be released of that. You can take this weight off of your shoulders and just kind of toss it aside, knowing that it served you for a time. Because it always does. It serves us for a time, but not right now. So allowing ourselves to be open and present with our moments, the here and now, with the people that we are with the love that we hold inside, really does allow us to explore this other way of really releasing, of being. So this control that we have is not necessarily presence. This control is it's really such a burden, if that makes sense. It's something that really just weighs us down because we're holding on to this. How can we move on to something how can we go all the way up the hill holding on to all of this weight of wanting to play things out the way we want them to play out? Like if you just release that, you're gonna get up the hill a lot faster. So hopefully that made sense. But it's really all about losing attachment to the outcome of how things are supposed to be, losing attachment to how you think people are going to react, and making those assumptions of how other people are perceiving you. It's really up to them. And it's important to realize that other people, their perceptions of you is really just a perception of themselves. We are all, in a sense, versions of self. We are all just versions of each other. We are all here to trigger each other, to help each other grow, to give love to each other. So we're all a part of this grand scheme to really raise the vibration and become whole beings. It's like I said, it's just up to us whether or not we are going to take those opportunities that arise, whether we are going to be aware and present enough to see what is going on within us when we are interacting with other people, what this person means to us. Like, That is why it is crazy how you have someone that just really triggers you and you just don't know why. But if you actually take the time to do the work and ask yourself, like, why am I so triggered? What is the emotion that I'm feeling when I'm around this person when they talk to me? And see that within yourself. The anger is coming from you. You're not taking that emotion from anyone else. The emotions that you have, they really are conjured up within your energy field. So if there is someone in your past that has always like triggered you or whatever it is, there's just that one person that like gets on your nerves, or maybe this one person that you just can't resist. Obviously there is something within your energy field that is still holding on or attached to them. So losing that attachment really means looking within. And maybe it is like talking to them and like figuring things out to give yourself a little bit more clarity, but doing that from a pleasant and aware place of yourself first. So really looking within first before you go out and speak to anyone about whatever is going on. And that is just some extra stuff that kind of wanted to come through. So hopefully that kind of makes sense in the grand scheme of this video. But overall, releasing this control is really just taking a step back. Really just allowing yourself, even if that means like you're in it, say you're in a chair right now, just like sitting back and allowing whatever is going to happen. Now it does take a moment to actually get to this place, and something else that I wrote down before press and record here was that you need to forgive yourselves for the mistakes that you have made and the mistakes that you will make. Because these mistakes are just a step in the right direction. Now I'll repeat that. Mistakes are just a step in the right direction. That doesn't mean you go consciously make a mistake, but that just means you allow yourself to follow what you feel. You allow yourself to try something new, and if it doesn't work out, okay, forgive yourself for that, learn from that. And that really does help us move forward to trust and allow what is going to happen, knowing that we can't really make any bad mistakes. If that makes sense. They are just mistakes. It's not good or bad. And you can move through these situations. You can move through these experiences, these relationships, those moments. In time, they will heal, but it really takes you being present and you trying to control what is going to happen next, trying to control how things are going to play out, trying to control a certain person or just the energy around a relationship. Just think about that. You're trying to control the energy around this thing, this person, and you can't expect good things to come out of this control that you have holding on, because as I said, control really does come from fear. This control comes from fear. So what we are doing when we are trying to control things is really just pressuring them down and putting all of this pressure on ourselves to be a certain way, to think a certain way, and it just weighs us down. So how do we let go of this energy that is within us, that is weighing us down? This part of us that is fearful of what is going to happen next. This part of us that doesn't trust the unknown. This part of us that can only really trust ourselves. The part of us that can't trust the other person. And just ask yourself, like, what part of me is afraid of what is going to happen? If you're one of those people that like, you have worst case scenario coming in, the devil's advocate, and you have all of these different things just kind of coming through you, it's okay to speak that kind of stuff to release it. Hiding it and ignoring it is only going to weigh you down. So if you are fearing a certain outcome, say it out loud. When I did this just a little while back, it was coming from a place of doubt that I didn't believe I could do the things that I wanted to do, that I could move out, that I could make money pretty much. And that's why I was trying to control everything that was going on. I was trying to control things, but at the end of the day, I was like, worst case scenario, I'm not moving out. I'm not going to be able to make money doing the things I love. I'm going to be stuck doing one job. So what I wrote down and what I journaled on was the worst that could happen of my worries. What is the worst that can happen of your worries? Of things not playing out the way that you expect them to play out, of you taking a step back. What is the worst that could happen with you really putting yourself first by taking that step back to release that weight so that you personally can move through with this clarity, just because your energy feels a little bit more whole and strong without this leak or this weighing down of control, of fear, of doubt that something could go wrong without you being there, if that makes sense. So I took some time to journal on this. So what I wrote down in my journal was that the worst that could happen of my worries is that I find a temporary job, I have to pay rent, I work more, and the last thing that I wrote down was I inevitably be put on the right path. I will inevitably be put on the right path. And I was trying to control how things were going to play out in my life. I kept writing down and rewriting my dreams and all of this stuff. And when I did that, I realized that I was looking at things that just felt like this isn't in alignment with what my dreams are. Like I feel like I'm moving backward and not forward. And normally that is not the case. But the last thing that I wrote after taking the time to sit down and be like, okay, yeah, I'm worried. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to control this. Why? Where is this coming from? Taking that time for yourself to realize what it is that is within you and seeing what comes up, because your higher self will plop in some messages and something that is more empowering and encouraging. And I'm grateful that I have that state of mind where I can just switch into really empowering myself in those moments, and you can too. So just knowing that you will inevitably be put on the right path, and if that doesn't sound right to you, look within. Ask yourself, why doesn't that resonate with me? Why don't I believe that I'm going to be put on the right path? Why do I feel like without this control that I have, that everything's just going to tumble down? Like, what is the worst that could happen if you just took a step back? What is the worst thing that could happen if you just stopped worrying or thinking about it? Just think about that. Because it is all energy. And if you have this energy weighing you down, it is only going to shrink. And it's going to be harder for love to come in. It's going to be harder for abundance to come in. But it is as easy as taking care of yourself, asking yourself why it is that you are doing this to yourself, why it is that we're pouring this fearful energy into something. Maybe even just saying affirmations is going to help you every single day. Maybe in those moments that you feel like, oh my gosh, this isn't going the way I planned, and you just have that hanging anxiety and that weighing down of worry. Maybe saying the affirmation, taking those breaths, counting in your head is going to kind of pick you up and be like, yo, trust what's going on here. And if you do believe in having spirit guides and angels around you, know that angels are always around you. I often can sense angels and feel their presence, and it is especially strong when you yourself ask for that help. When you just ask your angels, because you have personal angels, you have this personal spiritual family, your ancestors, they are all behind you. It is just a matter of you taking initiative to ask for that help. So if you feel like you need that extra assistance with this worry or self-doubt of yourself or just the future, ask them to help you in releasing that. It is okay to ask for help. Ask others to say like, hey, this is what I'm going through. I just want some support in this as I kind of figure this out within me. It's okay to do that. And the support itself, the energetic space of that support is going to help you heal. It is going to help you allow what is going on within yourself. It's going to help you allow what is going on outside of yourself so that you can be more aware and present with the miracles that are happening every single day. Just by being present And staying in your knowing and doing these self-care practices is going to allow you in those moments where you're like, okay, yeah, breathe, affirmation, whatever it is that you kind of choose to be your thing to bring you back and have you like sit back in that moment. That is going to show you in the long run how things have perfectly played out in your life. Perfectly. And it is all a learning process. This is a process for us to grow and learn and just evolve to help us release these things that we've been holding on all our lives that we haven't even noticed we've been holding on to. And it's crazy. I recently was seeing how things were being played out. I felt myself needing to take a step back from trying to control my family for how they're coping with things and how they are moving through their lives. And there's only so much you can say to people. Let me just tell you, it doesn't always come through. It's up to them whether or not they want to receive. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. So I was coming to that and I felt myself like, okay, like fine, nothing is working. I can't really help anyone here. I'm just going to take a breath, sit back. I'm going to see how things play out. I'm going to mind my own business. And all that I can do is do what I know I love. It's just acts of service. So being able to help them out with certain things, being able to just give them love, give hugs and kisses here and there, but without just being actively within everything going on. And I watched that play out. And I still am to this day. So as I am looking back and seeing what has played out from this standpoint of where I am now, being able to kind of release and take a step back and allow the universe to weave whatever was supposed to come about without holding that control, I see how divine these moments and experiences are, how synchronistic everything is to what's going on right now. And that very well can take you down to a place of like guilt too, to feel like, oh, I could have done more. I could have done this. I could have done that, looking back. But it's about shifting that and saying, oh, hey, what did I do right? What can I celebrate within myself? What have I learned from looking back? Instead of tearing this present person down for the past person. Normally, it's not the same person. You and your energy is kind of refreshed more often than you think. So that past you really is not you right now. You right now has gone through all those experiences and can now look at past you and see the lessons that past you couldn't see. So hopefully all of that makes sense. A lot is kind of coming through for this sense of control that we want to have. And I think the biggest takeaway, besides what I said before about just breathing and maybe taking affirmations that feel right for you, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like, I let go of control. Like, make it specific to you. Make it something that feels more empowering to you, because sometimes when we say like, I release control or allow myself to let go, we have this resistance toward that because we don't want to let go. So find something that is resonant to you. Just like mine, I will be inevitably put on the right path. No matter what happens, I can allow and trust and ask for guidance, or just what you are doing is enough right now. So remembering that and trusting in the eyes of love. Trusting and knowing that as long as you are giving love and open to receiving that love, either from yourself or from other people, that is trust in itself, to be able to give and receive that love. And that is truly enough. And love is really just all a lot of people really need. So holding on to that control is not giving love. It is thinking that something is going to go wrong. It is a worry. It is a fear. It is a doubt. So let go of that and choose to embrace love rather than control. And remembering that you can only control yourself. okay? The only thing you really have control over is how you take care of yourself, how you react to people, what you do with this different information that you are getting from certain situations and experiences and other people and interactions. So taking that information that you're finding out about yourself, how you interact with other people, that is something that you can control. You can actually take the time to do that shadow healing, to look at those hidden parts of you we really have been pushing down and ignoring, bringing them up to the surface, looking at them in the eyes of this sun-loving light, just in the present moment, to be able to heal that and let that go. And that is going to release a lot within your energy field as well. Or even just taking the time to manage your energy by doing breath work, which is pranayama. Prana is life force. And we use the breath to move this life force around us, this chi around us. So breathing, moving the body is going to be very, very helpful. That is what you can control. So knowing this being right here is what you have to work with. You don't necessarily have a say over everything that's going to go on. But if you feel within your soul like, hey, okay, I see myself as a musician. I see myself as a person that is going to do retreats. I see myself as like an environmentalist. Like, yes, see yourself. How does it feel to be there? How does it feel to be that person? How does that future self feel? What does that future self have? How does it make you feel? And tapping into that. And a beautiful way to do that is to, maybe you've already done this, is really just writing down your story from like the third person. Writing down your story, noticing how it makes you feel, reading it again, but obviously at the end, just really leaving space for the universe to kind of take that dream of yours, letting you know that you're going to be the one that's going to water it. You've put it out there, you've manifested it. You've put the energy out there. Oh my gosh, I can feel this way? Awesome. If I can feel it right now, I'm going to feel it later on in my life. Doing what I want to do, having what I want to have. So when you do write that, notice if you are trying to control what is going on within that, like little details. Like, yes, you can have some details, but keeping in mind that things are meant to be unknown. There's always surprises and things that we don't expect. Things that we worry about that just happen. So with that knowledge, with that knowing and that awareness of yourself, knowing that you can control yourself in this being, in this body, you can manage your own energy, you can control your reactions, really by just allowing yourself to become more aware of yourself within. It really requires you to do that work. And with all of that in mind, when you're writing down how you see things going, how the way you would like things to go, you got to remember to leave room for the universe. Leave space for surprises. Because the more that you work on yourself, this inner work, the more in alignment you become with yourself. And that alignment with yourself will lead you on so many different paths. Maybe you think you want to do one thing now, and then it leads you to something else that is just so much better. And that's not to say there's always something so much better in store, but just following how you feel. And that really takes being present in the moment and aware of yourself. And the only way to be present and aware of yourself is to stop controlling your experience. Stop trying to control how everything is going to play out. Because if we're controlling how things are playing out, we're controlling how we want to be feeling. Like, just be yourself. If you're feeling any sort of way, let that be it, okay? Be there with that. Be present. That's about a part of being present and aware, is not pretending that things are one way when they're another. So I guess I want to say that it all comes back to being present. Being present with yourself will allow you to be open to how amazing things are without this control. How crazy aligned things are and divinely led everything is that people can be when we allow ourselves to see that. So see that within yourself, see that in your past and learn from it. Just try it out a little at a time. Just knowing that this control is only fear. And we want to release that fear so that we can be free of that. And just watch how things kind of play out. Watch how more prepared you are when you aren't worrying about what is happening next or what is going to unfold. Really watch that kind of unfold for you. It's scary and it's like tearing off the band-aid and removing the security blanket, but that is where we are going to find the most growth, the most love, the most abundance is through that. And it becomes easier. It really does become a lot easier. I can tell you that from my personal experience, letting go of that control as a control freak myself. So just control what you can, which is yourself and your being and how you interact with things. Keeping that in mind, what we kind of discussed here with what control really is and how letting it go truly will open up so many more doors for you and will allow yourself to feel a little bit more free. So forgive yourself for the control that you do or trying to have. Forgive yourself for past mistakes. Know that there are no bad mistakes. Know that everything is in divine alignment and it will be revealed to you in time. Whether you understand what is going on right now or not, whether or not you have that knowing right now, where can you find solitude within yourself? And that's returning to stepping back, trusting, controlling yourself, what you can. If there is something that is really just up to someone else, or just the universe, or how things are going to play out, or just an array of different people and experiences, then let that go. That is not yours to carry, okay? It is not yours to carry. I hope this helped. This is a lot longer of a transmission. Just a lot came through. So please do in the comments down below, let me know if anything resonated with you, if this helped you, just so I can send you some love and encouragement back. And it really does help other people being able to share experiences and just what is going on, to let people know like what is working for you. It really does help other people, and a lot of people look at comments. So I just would really appreciate that and would love to just sprinkle some love and encouragement and just let you guys know, like, just, it's fine. You're gonna be fine. Much love. Turn on notifications if you are subscribed. If you're not subscribed, check out my channel. I highly recommend it, and it also really supports me in my transmissions and my yoga classes and guided meditations, and helps me be able to share these with more people online. This is a potent time to do this kind of work. I'm really happy that you're here and you made it through the end of this video. It was a lengthy one. I'm sending you so much love from my heart to yours. I will see you guys in another video.